productive discussion. Thank you very much. And now I would like, I would like to invite the Director General of American and European Affairs, Ambassador Ngurah Swajaya, to open the virtual meeting. The floor is yours, Ambassador. Please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Selamat pagi to our friends in the region. Buenos dias. Of course, for our colleague in Haiti, bonjour. And a very good morning to our colleague in Cuba, the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. And of course, Ambassador Nana, and also colleague at the Indonesian embassies in Havana, distinguished honorary consuls and participants. Let me first thanking our embassy in Havana for organizing this event, and also to thank all of the participants, the honorary consuls of Indonesia and Jamaica, the Bahamas, as well as in Haiti, and our colleague from the Indonesian Central Bank in New York, the investment promotion centers in New York, for joining this event virtually. And I certainly hope that you are all always in good health in this challenging time that we are all facing all over the world. This virtual meeting, I believe, should provide a very unique opportunity, not only to understand the situations as well as the potentials, but also to double our efforts, our collective efforts, in order to strengthen further the bilateral relations as well as cooperations during this pandemic situation, as well as also in the post-pandemic situations. We believe that in every challenging time, there are always a good opportunity if we are trying to find that good opportunity, and certainly there will be also activities where we will be able to strengthen the economic interactions between Indonesia and the countries in the Caribbean, especially those countries where you are assigned as the honorary consuls of Indonesia, as well as the representative of Indonesia in the region. Ambassador Nana, honorary consul, dear colleague, we also have here Ambassador Siregar and Ambassador Sinaga. Well, everyone knows that since last year and until today, we are still struggling with this pandemic situation. Although economic recovery has already been started gradually, but everything should be done with a very extreme caution on the issue of the health, as well as in also preventing the spread of the virus in many countries. While we are experiencing this pandemic, like many other countries as well, we are also, when before the pandemic, we are growing on average more than 5% a year in our GDP. But last year, our economy was contracted at about 2.07%. Although the first quarter of this year, the contraction is lower as compared to the whole year last year. And we are hoping that, as it is also predicted by the World Bank, that the national economy will grow again to a projected 4.4% this year. And during this pandemic, all of the countries that you are representing are also mainly depending a lot on tourism. And of course, this has already been affected very badly, the same like what we have also in Indonesia. Tourism sector has already been affected very badly. But fortunately enough that we have seen the growing increase of the Indonesian export to many other countries, including also to our major partners like the US, China, but also to some of the other countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. We certainly would like to see the opportunities where we will be able to increase, enhance the trade cooperation between Indonesia and the Latin America and also the Caribbean countries, even during the pandemic, and hopefully it could also be increased further in the post-pandemic situations. In Indonesia, we are also thankful that we have started our vaccination program, and there are already more than 40 million Indonesians receiving the vaccinations, with the hope that by the end of this year, it could also be reached around 70% of the total population. But certainly the challenge that we are facing now is the availability of the vaccine. While we are securing the vaccine from multiple platforms, we are also now in the process of producing our own vaccine as well. So with this vaccination process that we are doing, we are hoping that by July or at the latest, perhaps, it's very much depend on the situation with regard to the COVID infection here in Indonesia. We will start to reopen our tourism gradually by first, of course, reopening some of the destinations like Bali for pilot projects to start receiving international tourists. Until now, our borders are still closed, except for essential travelers. And now we are also experiencing a little bit increase of the infection, but that is mainly also affected by the religious holiday that we just celebrated a couple of weeks ago. And we have seen also the bed occupation rate is also increasing in the hospital. But we are still very optimistic that the situation will get under control. And then, of course, at the same time, we will start recovering the economy, while in our case, the industry is still functioning very effectively. And even some of them, depending on the sectors, are increasing their production because of the increasing demand. And Indonesia is certainly one of the countries that will allow the diversification of global supply chains because of the geopolitical situation where big countries doesn't want to depend on only one suppliers or one big global supply chains. For that matters, Indonesia enacted last year the very ambitious legislations, and this legislation is certainly the first among, the first in the past many decades that we've been trying to synchronize and also developing legislation that will prevent any conflicting rules that has already been synergized from more than almost 80 different national legislations. And the omnibus law, we call it, on job creation. At the beginning, it was created a lot of questions, but now we have seen very good remarks, encouraging remarks, and we have seen also the impact, which is the ease of doing business is getting better. And hopefully with the implementing regulations, as well as the infrastructure that has already been put in place or in the process to be put in place, we will be able to certainly improve the ease of doing business situations in Indonesia. What does it mean? It means that Of course, we are going to receive a lot of investors coming to Indonesia, and that will also enable us also to promote our trade with countries, especially when we are talking about countries in the Caribbean region. As Ambassador mentioned earlier, Ambassador Nana mentioned earlier that certainly we have seen an increase of our export, but at the same time, we are hoping that we will also see an increase of our import from the region. But I think the number or the value is still below the potentials that we have. So that is the reason why I think I do not need to go into the details about the number, but certainly we have seen an encouraging increasing demands on consumer goods, on food and beverages. And I think this is some of the industries that we are really having, a better, a better quality as well as a better competitiveness as compared to the other countries that also producing the same products. So we hope that we will be able to utilize this opportunity not only to exchange information, but at the same time also trying to build networks and also connecting the businesses from Indonesia with the businesses in Cuba, the Bahamas, Jamaica, and also Haiti, in order to really increase the trade, the two-way trades between Indonesia and those countries. The INALAC Business Forum we organized last year is certainly designed by using a digital platform. As you know that during this pandemic, I think people restraining themselves from traveling, but by using this digital platform, we have already been able to organize an event, a 3-day event, a business forum, which was attended by more than 500 participants. But at the same time also, we have been able to facilitate one-on-one business meeting, and that has already been resulted in the concrete business deals and also export that we have already been registering from what we organized last year. And this year, we will organize also the INALAC Business Forum, as mentioned by the ambassador earlier, with the hope that we will be able to put in our digital platform more companies for our colleagues and our trading partners in the Caribbean to study and to learn. So then when the event is taking place, or even before the event is taking place, you can also organize a one-on-one business meeting. So we hope that by using this digital platform, with more companies registered, with more products going to be exhibited, then we will be able to have more business interactions as well as business dealings by using this digital platform. I believe that this digital platform is very effective, especially during the pandemic, but I think it remains effective when we are talking on the traditional challenges that we are facing in the past before the pandemic, where we are talking about distance, so far distance. But then by using this digital platform, then we will be able to really promote interactions among businesses in Indonesia as well as in the Caribbean region. So we hope that with more companies registering, you will be able to study the potential. And the most important thing is connecting the businesses between the two, between Indonesia and the countries in the Caribbean. So at the same time, we are also using this digital platform to exhibit what we call as ready to invest projects. So there will be more than 100 ready to invest projects available across Indonesia, where potential investors can learn and can study. And of course, they will be able to also establish contact with the owner of the projects and to discuss further the potential for them to also invest. At the same time, we will also try to promote tourism as well in this digital platform. But I think this is yet to be developed because of the situation now. Now, based on the prediction of the McKinsey, I believe that Indonesia remains on track to become one of the 10 largest economy in the world. And I think we are very happy to be partners of our colleague, our friends from the Caribbean countries. At the same time, we are also now in the process of studying the possibility for Indonesia and CARICOM, take for example, to establish a kind of a trade agreement that will facilitate further the two ways trade between Indonesia and the countries belonging to the CARICOM. So we are still trying to do our best in order to promote the interactions, and certainly we would like to take this opportunity to thank our colleague from the Central Bank in New York, who are also very active to serve as a facilitator, as well as our colleague from the investment promotion centers in New York to talk with the potential investors in the Caribbean countries. So we hope that we will soon be able to return back to perhaps not a normal situation like what we experienced before the pandemic, but certainly what we call as a new normal, so that we will be able to expedite our effort, double our effort to recover the economy. And the most important thing is, of course, we would like to see a growing trade as well as investment between Indonesia and the Caribbean countries in years to come. So I have certainly a good good hope, as well as my expectation to our distinguished friends, the Honorary Consul of Indonesia in the Bahamas, Jamaica, as well as in Haiti, to do more and to facilitate more interactions. And we are here at your disposal to help you. Certainly our embassy in Havana, as well as also our colleague here at the ministry. So we hope that this event will certainly lead us to many concrete business dealing that we hope to happen in this year as well as in the years to come. So once again, let me commend the embassy in Havana for organizing this good event, as well as to thank all of the participants for participating, and also to support the event to be a successful event. And certainly I hope that all of you in Cuba, Haiti, Jamaica, as well as the Bahamas, always to stay safe and to stay healthy. And we hope that we will be able to do more in order to increase our bilateral cooperation. Once again, thank you very much. Muchas gracias, as well as merci beaucoup to our colleague in Haiti. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Ambassador Ngurah Swajaya. We're Director General of American Affairs and also European Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We also have actually the candidate of Honorary Consul from Dominican Republic, Mr. Vladimir Luciarak. Can you greet Mr. Vladimir?
Hello, Mr. Vladimir. I don't see you in the screen, but certainly very happy to see you here. and very happy to have you
Yes.
participating here.
Thank you, Ambassador. Well, ladies and gentlemen and dear participants, as it is mentioned by Ambassador Ngura, we are very optimistic that Indonesia growth, especially from tourism and trade, could reach 4.4%. And we believe through tourism and also trade, Indonesia will be on track to become the 10th big economy in the world, and also the Embassy of Indonesia in Havana will be very happy to support the CARICOM, where Bahamas and also Jamaica are members of CARICOM, and also SICA, where Dominican Republic is a member of SICA. Ladies and gentlemen, now we go to the next session is a presentation by Dr. Dwitya Putra Sriyasa Besar, the head of Bank of Indonesia in New York, United States of America. Before I give the floor to Dr. Putra, I would like to introduce that Dr. Dwitya Putra Sriyasa Besar is a chief representative of Bank of Indonesia in New York. Previously, he was director of Bank of Indonesia Macro Prudential Policy Department and director of Bank Indonesia in South Sulawesi. He was assigned as the visiting researcher at the Bank of England in London in 2003 and visiting researcher at Asian Development Bank Institute in Tokyo in 2004. Mr. Putra did his master's degree in international banking and finance at Columbia University in New York, and also a PhD in banking from Cass Business School, University of London in London, United Kingdom. With that, I would like to invite Mr. Putra. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador Nana. Very kind introduction. Allow me to share the screen. Good morning, good evening, His Excellency Ambassador Ki Gedeng Ngurah Swajaya, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Nana Yuliana, distinguished panelists, Mr. Muhammad Iqbal from IIPC New York, Honorary Counsel, Dr. Michael Benbury, Mr. Elmer Lowy, Ms. Kathleen Zuraik, and Mr. Vladimir. And of course, friends, all the distinguished participants from all over the world. It is very good to see you safe and healthy. And it is very happy to hear from Ambassador Ngurah and Ambassador Nana about the optimism from the government of Indonesia and the situation of Indonesia, although we're still struggling to overcome the COVID pandemic, especially in emerging economy, including Indonesia. But the key message is that we always have to be positive and optimistic and to continue this recovery in the economy and also in the to control the COVID spreading out in our country. So today it is honor. Thank you, Ambassador Nana, to allow Bank Indonesia to share about the Indonesian economy and its outlook, which I believe that this will bring business opportunity to business players in Indonesia and also in Caribbean. So I hope that this will give you an overview about the current situation and the opportunity that we can have from the business side. So I will start by giving you the brief flow of the Indonesian economic condition currently. That our key theme is that we need to synergy to maintain this current stability and accelerating the recovery. So we need the optimism from, as already said by Ambassador Nana and Ambassador Ngurah. So then we can see here, although that the COVID-19 pandemic still, developing, especially in emerging market, but we have seen some positive development in advanced economy, especially in the US, UK, and other countries, that it caused, if we see here at the upper left of the slide, that the optimism and the distribution and the vaccination process has been very good. So it also influenced the economic recovery globally. So we see that here, the economy of the advanced economy, especially US, including China and Europe, will improve. And then we still have some slightly problem in India, but of course the growth are still very high. It's about 11%. And currently, the situation of the potential economic growth in 2021 globally is 5.7%. So this is really good, and this recovery will also bring other benefits in terms of the international business and international transactions. So that's why we have also seen that the world trade volume, the Indonesian export commodity, including oil, has also been improving, and this creating positive development through the trade channel. We can see here, although we still have challenge from high COVID-19 cases, especially in India and new COVID variants, but we can see here that some economic variable has been improving, especially export-import, investment, and the fiscal sector. In Indonesia, we still have a little problem related to the consumption, but this has been, I think, as soon as we can control the COVID-19 development in Indonesia, then we can solve this issue. So then we can see from this for economic variables, especially the exchange rates, liquidity, and the interest rate has been supportive to the business transactions. And then that's why the inflation rate also very much low and stable. And the Indonesian GDP also expected will grow with the range of 4.1 to 5.1. So this is actually a very good position for Indonesia. And then we have to maintain this current stability to continue to accelerate this recovery for the benefit of Indonesia and our trading partner, especially today with friends from Caribbean, Bahama, Haiti, Cuba, Dominican Republic. So I hope that this will give you like an overview about Indonesian economy. So as I mentioned before, that the global economy is improving. So especially in globally, the economy has been growth solid in 5.7% in 2021 from contraction into 2020, 3.3%. And this is mainly driven by the development in United States and China, which are beyond the previous expectation. And mainly in the US, again, the momentum from the growing domestic demand and very, very huge fiscal and monetary stimulus to improve manufacturing and service sector. And then in here, we also see that the China also developed quite well. So China and the US has been the most important trading partner from our friends, not only in Indonesia, but also in Caribbean. So hopefully this will also bring more business in the regions. And then we can see that India still has quite problem regarding to the increasing COVID-19. So that's why the India economic growth has been predicted to grow more slowly than the previous estimate, but it is very high, still very high. It's like 11% in 2021. So hopefully that India can control the COVID-19 and recover soon. And various early indicators like the global purchasing managers index, yeah, I mean this indicator showing the activity of the business has been improving as well. Consumer confidence also really good, and retail sales also developing. And here we can also see that as a result of the recovery in the global economy, the world trade volume also recover. Yeah, we see that it has been growing in the last 2 years, and commodity prices also showing very good result. I mean, I'm very optimistic about the future here. We can see that all this is, for example, the main Indonesian export showing positive year-on-year growth, yeah, from from the different kind of products. This is especially some main products of Indonesia like CPO, rubber, and nickel, yeah, and also tin has been improving, yeah. Although coffee, not so much growth than other commodity products, but still very positive. I mean, it maintains its positive development even during the pandemic in 2020. So I think I'm very happy about this development, and that's why we see here that the Indonesian economic condition domestically have very good momentum to keep on improving. So we can see from this first quarter of 2021, the economic growth has been recorded a shallower contraction in quarter 1 2021 from the previous 2.19% in quarter 4 2020. So this development, if we can see from the expenditure components, is mainly supported from all the development components, non-profit institution, investment, and the most important thing is the export and import. So then I hope that, as Ambassador Nana mentioned, that Caribbean and Indonesia are basically has very good market opportunity for both parties. So hopefully it can be benefit from all the people. So then we can also see from by sectors, although some sectors still contraction, but some important Indonesian sector has been recovered fully, especially from the agriculture, forestry, and fisheries, and information and communication, showing positive development. And the other sectors, although they are still growing negatively, but it has been shallower. I mean, the growing has been improving, not as negative as before. For example, mining and excavation, and also in manufacturing. Yeah, we can see here. Hopefully, it's only 1.38 and 2%. So hopefully it will be get better compared to the 2021, which was minus 2.93% and so on. So with this development, I think it will continue to be positive in the future. And if we also see from spatial point of view, most of Indonesian provincial area also has been recovered. Some provincial area like Central Kalimantan and East Kalimantan still growing negatively, but it is mainly because of the coal export. But I think with the recovery in global, hopefully it will be back to positive growth. And then in the slide, we can see that the domestic growth continues to improve in amidst the slowing down of the COVID-19 in Indonesia and the lockdown in some areas in Indonesia. We can see from all the early indicators of the economy in Indonesia, the consumer expectation, the farmer exchange rate, job vacancy index, retail sales, online sales, all showing improving, increase, and it will be recovery after the pandemic. And here we can also see that the state budget, also the government, has providing budget to support the recovery of the economy. So I think it is very effective, and it will help us to recover in terms of the main concern of the government in the health sectors, infrastructures, and the tourism sector. And also in this slide, this is very positive as well. I think we can see the increasing of Indonesian export and the non-building investment, especially the CPO and the steel to China and the US. Here we can see that all the non-oil and gas export and also the imports has been also recovery here, although that it has been slightly decreasing in the special area in Indonesia, but the others area has been improving. So I think this is also very, very good development. So I hope that this will support the Indonesian growth in 2021. So then this we also see that Indonesia has quite developing in terms of the import and export to our friends in Caribbean, Haiti, Dominica, Jamaica, Cuba, and Bahama. Yeah? I mean, we can see that Indonesian export in terms of the like a food production, sugar, and also paper and I think oil, yeah, glassware and furniture have very good market in Caribbean, and also other products from Caribbean like sugar, yeah, pharmacy, tobacco, machinery for hospital or healthcare, and alcoholic drinks also have a very potential market in Indonesia. So that's why in here I can see that the export and import are still growing between our countries. So I hope that it will be continue positively in the future. Although, as Ibu Ambassador mentioned, that we facing some potential problem regarding to the currency exchange and also the new regulation. But as we know that the current government in in Caribbean has been done quite good in terms of on how they can reform the economy, doing liberalization, and hopefully with the new administration in the USA under Biden, it will bring a positive development in Cuba, especially by lifting the US sanction, and it will also create other opportunity in terms of maybe business and tourism in the area from the US and Canada. So in here, I can show you that in terms of the external condition of Indonesia is also has been improving. We can see that the current account deficit has been decreased from minus 2.7 or minus 1.2 to be 0.4 and 0.3, and now the current account deficit is only 0.4. This is supported by increasing export and also import. So I hope that those development can also support the further economic growth in Indonesia. So the other issue, I think it is also important to note that the direct investment also still stable. So I think it's good news, and I believe that my colleague from IIPC New York, Mr. Iqbal, will also explain about this issue, that I think the opportunity is also still very large and beneficial. And also not only in terms of the direct investment, but also in the portfolio investment, also still positive. For example, it has been improving from Q1 2020. It is 9.7, yeah, and then it will continue to grow until May is already 4.9. Hopefully, we can maintain this positive development. And then Indonesian exchange rate. This is also showing, that because of the export and import, the rupiah has been strengthened point to point, and also on the average in the April 2021. Although the rupiah year to date has been depreciated by 2.12%, but it is still comparatively lower than other currency in our peer countries, especially Turkey, Brazil, and Thailand. So in this matter, Bank Indonesia will provide stability of the volatility of Indonesian rupiah. So this will investment in Indonesia. So finally, I will present the outlook of the Indonesian economy. Bank Indonesia estimate that the Indonesian economy will continue to grow in 2021 in the range of 4.1 to 5.1, and the other macro variables also will be in a very good number. Yeah, we can see current account deficit projection will be around -1 to -2%. It means that we will have a further export and import development, and Indonesian inflation will be maintained around 2 to 4% or 3% plus minus 1%. And finally, we hope that the financing from financial sector and banking sector in Indonesia will be recovered in 2021 from contraction in 2020 minus 2.41 to be 5.7%. So, muchas gracias. Terima kasih banyak. Thank you, Ambassador Nana, for this opportunity. Hopefully, this brief overview will bring information for all the business partner Indonesia and Caribbean. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Putra, for sharing with us the positive and also the encouragement for our economic in 2021. And I would like to invite now for the next presentation, Honorary Consul of the Republic of Indonesia in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Mr. Elmer Lowe, and then after that followed by Muhammad Iqbal, and after that also from Haiti and Jamaica, including also the Dominican Republic, and after that we follow with Q&A. So without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Elmer I.G. Lowe for a presentation and also sharing the opportunity that you have in the Bahamas. Mr. Elmer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ambassador Nana. Protocol having been established, again, good morning to everyone. What I would like to maybe take the opportunity to do, being in such esteemed crowd here, I'd like to share just some basics that are important to understand the framework of the country of the Bahamas. For many, most would know about the tourism product of the Bahamas, but I will give some other data matrix that may be helpful in understanding the country as a whole. So the Bahamas is officially known as the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and it's a country within the archipelago in the West Indies and the Atlantic. So it makes up about 700 islands and keys. We use that as an official geographic marker, but realistically, we're talking about 12 to 13 major islands that are inhabited. We're located north of Cuba and northwest of the island of Hispaniola, so which is split between Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, southeast of the US state of Florida, and east of the Florida Keys. The capital is Nassau, where I'm located, and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force describes our territory as encompassing over 180,000 square miles of ocean space. So lots of water, many islands, about 12 to 13 that are inhabited. Our population is just under 400,000 people. And we are a very young country. So we gained independence on July 10th, 1973. So we're very much in a developing state. Now, each of the countries that are represented here have all been impacted, obviously, by COVID-19. This global pandemic has had major effects on us all. Sadly for the Bahamas, just a year prior, almost exactly 12 calendar months, we had also encountered Hurricane Dorian. Hurricane Dorian is noted as the largest impactful hurricane to the Atlantic in history, and certainly for the Bahamas. So you have back-to-back two major impacts to not only the economies of the Bahamas, but specifically Hurricane Dorian impacted directly two major islands, Freeport, which is our second city and free trade zone, and also Abaco, which is the second largest part of our economy, the wheel that turns industry for the country. So our scenario is one of not only trying to recover, but our government of the Bahamas has been very cautious in trying to put in place items to not only recover from both of the Hurricane Dorian and the pandemic, but also to try and find a way to simultaneously grow. As difficult as that may sound, we are having some success in that area. So where do we sit at this moment in the Bahamas? Obviously, unprecedented challenges and a precarious position. So according to the Inter-American Development Bank, Hurricane Dorian, for instance, caused about $3.4 billion in damages, which is equal to about 1/4 of the GDP of the Bahamas. Our GDP is around 13 billion US dollars. The current death toll is 74 people officially, very small number in comparative to many other countries around the world, but we still have about 245 persons that would have been affected and known as lost to date. So for a very small country, remember, just under 400,000 people, catastrophic for us. In terms of COVID-19, our numbers have been relatively low, thankfully. Obviously, we have had a little over 275 cases. Of that, 111 have recovered. Our death toll has been very, very low at 237 persons. Again, for a small country, one death is too many. So, what has the government done to try and take the country from recovery and into growth? Currently, our fiscal deficit is estimated at about 951.8 million, or 7.7% of the GDP of the country. And the government has put together a published fiscal strategy that is projected about $954 million of the upcoming fiscal year into rebuilding. We've also recently enacted a Public Debt Management Act. In 2021, it comes into effect July 1. And this is to balance what has been done to support businesses and the local Bahamians during this most difficult time of two very impactful events happening one right after the other. As a result, we have seen a few good points. Now that we've covered the very heavy points of what the Bahamas has affected, what does that mean about where we are today? I'm a firm believer, and many in our country are a firm believer, that in chaos there is beauty if you search for it. There's opportunity that can be beautiful if you are strategic, if you are paying attention, and if you are willing to connect the dots. The growth of Indonesia and the press that is happening, and we can see the growth that is happening with Indonesia, is very exciting. How do we connect those dots between the growth of Indonesia and where the Bahamas sits currently? Well, let's examine that. Here are some of the benefits that we think we can connect some of those dots, some of the good news for the Bahamas. So the Bahamas is one of the very few countries that has allowed visit to the islands without testing if you are fully vaccinated. This has already impacted us by basically, in short, a 25% increase in tourism. Tourism is our number one industry. And so from March of last year to date, we have about 40% to 50% of our tourism staffing that have been out of work. They are returning to work very, very quickly. We've also instituted cruise ship home porting. What that means is at least two major companies that were home ported in South Florida have now moved to Nassau, Bahamas. That means that tourists that would have typically started their cruise in South Florida, predominantly Miami and Fort Lauderdale, now will fly into Nassau and they will start their cruise from Nassau. There's anticipated another 2 cruise lines at least, and maybe more, that will join this trend. We see opportunities there. I'll speak a little bit more about that. We also simultaneously started in 2019 a new cruise port revamp to the tune of $250 million US. The anticipation and negotiations for home porting was something that was being discovered and discussed in early 2019 prior to Hurricane Dorian. And there was some forward thinking, thankfully, that kicked off this revamp. So I'll speak a bit more on where the opportunities there as well. I'd also like to bring to everybody's attention to look into a development called Albany. Albany is also located in Nassau, and Albany is the brainchild of British billionaire Joe Louis. And there's a structure there called home office structure, which is bringing international business to the Bahamas. And it is allowing companies, for instance, like Rolex, the Rolex family, to flagship their company in the Bahamas. There is opportunities similar for many of the corporations in Indonesia and in Asia at large that may benefit from this structure. We've also instituted a home working extended stay visa. So companies are allowed to have extended stay, work, and play under a very clear visa structure. And what that is allowing is it's giving persons the opportunity to fast track the ability to bring business to the shores. And what we think will happen is there's going to be reciprocation going two ways, because headquartering a business here, whether short-term or long-term, is going to take some root, we think, and also introduce, for instance, the biggest challenge between the Bahamas and Indonesia trade is introducing that it is an option. It's not necessarily cultural, it's not necessarily geographical, but it's introducing what the opportunities are and getting people on both sides of the countries to communicate amongst themselves to understand what those opportunities are. We've also seen a massive increase in small island and key sales. So it's one of the very few positive trends as a result of COVID-19. So small island key sales have taken place. Of course, there are going to be structures that need to be built on those small islands and keys, infrastructure, because people want to have what they perceive to be a plan B in the case there's another pandemic in years to come. We've also seen mega yachts increase traffic to the area. So outer islands, basically these small cities, these small floating cities, they need to be maintained, they need to be supported. We've seen a huge increase in the Bahamian waters, and those are coming from Europe, those are coming from the United States, and it is actually something where we think there's one of the greatest opportunities for those on this call and others who may be able to take advantage of. There's a natural resource management skill support glut in the Bahamas. So if you look at aragonite, for instance, there's a lot of public discussion going on how much aragonite is being exported out of the country, what's done with that aragonite, and how it's managed. That creates opportunity for those who may be well-versed in that industry, for mining, for management of mined results, to take advantage of. There's also a very untapped and what I would call virgin territory of laws that are in place that are very beneficial to light industry and manufacturing. So when one looks at the light industry and manufacturing, we currently have very little. There is hardly any manufacturing being done in the Bahamas. As a result, there's a lot of benefits in place for not only light manufacturing and heavy manufacturing, but also support of introducing and teaching those skills. There is opportunity also in the auto industry. The Bahamas, being very small, is very densely filled with automotive. We love our automobiles in the Bahamas. Currently, we only get the vehicles from North America and manufactured out of Mexico. The vehicles that are being manufactured out of Mexico leave much to be desired, and the Bahamian consumer, who has a reasonable amount of ability to buy a new vehicle every 3 to 4 years, is looking for options that we see Indonesia can fill. In Freeport, the second city, which I mentioned earlier, which was very much impacted by Hurricane Dorian and rebuilding very quickly, there is a US-based medical school, which has recently engaged and been warmly received by the Bahamas government to offer not only medical schooling, but opportunities for medical university. We can see this sector having much room to grow. We know that the Bahamas, being a tourism-based economy, and even though the Bahamas wishes to diversify and widen the opportunities for other industries, it's still the strongest industry. So large resorts, such as the Point, which has just recently completed, Bahamar, which has also been recently completed, and smaller boutique operations in Exuma, the Abacos, are in constant need of upscale furnishings, trims, construction products. Because of those private islands that I mentioned were selling so quickly, they're going to need to have construction materials. They're going to need to have furnishings, trims, and such. And this is really the second home ownership model is bringing in very high end and talking 5 million plus ownership opportunities in terms of investment direct to an area. We also see some smaller craft areas. For instance, the female beauty supply here, fashion, has predominantly been impacted or supplied to by India. We think that that can be a great strategy for Indonesian businesses to look at. As in most Caribbean countries and most North American countries, the way one looks, especially the ladies, is of utmost importance and where they will spend good money. So I hope that some of these ideas that we have presented are of value. In recap, the auto industry, the medical university partnerships in Freeport, the furniture high-end supply to boutique and large resorts in the Bahamas, the supply of furniture, construction, and even construction related services such as architectural, engineering, and such for the second home ownership and small boutique resorts is something that is in very high demand. And of course, female beauty supplies here and fashion. These are the areas where we think there are the most opportunities and the low-hanging fruit. And I thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to present.
Thank you very much, Elmer. Thank you for your comprehensive presentation. I think you have heard some opportunities that is mentioned by Honorary Consul Elmer. Some of the need or the demand is like craft, furniture, construction material, female beauty supplies, automotive industry, fashion is open for the exporter from Indonesia. So take that opportunity later. We will have a Q&A after this session. Thank you, Elmer, for your information. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elmer Lower, he's a businessman. He has become the Indonesian Honorary Consul in the Bahamas since 2015. So now I will invite Mr. Muhammad Iqbal. Mr. Muhammad Iqbal is the director of Indonesian Investment Promotion Center in New York. And let me read his CV then. Okay. So Muhammad Iqbal is the director of Indonesian Investment Promotion Center, a New York representative. He graduated from Master of Management from Gajah Mada University, Yogyakarta, and his bachelor degree is a Bachelor of Management from Perbanas, Indonesia. So he is assigned from BKPM, what we call Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board, Jakarta. Muhammad Iqbal, Pak Iqbal, the floor is yours, please.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ambassador Nana, for your kind introductions. Very good morning, buenos dias, Your Excellency, Ambassador Nana Juliana, and Ambassador Muras Swajaya, Director General for American and European Affairs, Mr. Dwitya Putra Besar, Pak Putra, our head of Bank Indonesia, New York, and also Mr. Elmer Loy, how are you? Our Honorary Consul of the Republic of Indonesia in the Bahamas, and also Ms. Kathleen Kasik Zurek, Honorary Consul of the Republic of Indonesia in Haiti, and Dr. Michael Banbury, our honorary consul of the Republic of Indonesia in Jamaica. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you and the audience about the Indonesia investment climate and opportunities. First of all, like Ms. Ambassador mentioned, I am a director of Indonesian Investment Promotion Center. Our headquarters in New York. IPC New York is the representative of Indonesia Ministry of Investment for the Americas. We are to facilitate and promote investment between the region and Indonesia. So, are you ready for the slide? Let me share. Let me share you a quick update of direct investment realization in Indonesia in the first quarter of 2021. Pak Angga, are we ready for the slide? Okay. While still waiting for the slide, let me share you a quick update of direct investment realizations in Indonesia in the first quarter 2021. Overall, Indonesia economy starts recovering from the contraction because of COVID-19. The total direct investments increased 4.3% on the first quarter 2021 compared to the same period last year. The property sector lead with more than $2 billion investment, or contributing around 13.4% of our total direct investment, followed by metal industry, logistics, and telecommunications. In terms of region, 5 countries in the Americas are in the top 20 sources of the FDI in the first quarter of 2021. These are United States, Canada, British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, and Bermuda. And Latin America and Caribbean countries contribute around $90 million in January to March 2021. I believe you are okay. Ready for the slide? Okay. Let's jump into the GDP. Okay, I believe you are already familiar with Indonesia, but allow me to give you a glass of country. Indonesia is currently the world's 16th largest economy, with more than $1 trillion of GDP, $1 trillion of GDP. It is estimated to be the 7th largest economy in the world 2030 by McKinsey & Company. The only member of G20 from Southeast Asia. Indonesia economy had been growing relatively stable at 5% in the last 2 decades. Indonesia has 272 million of population in last year, and is home for 64 million of middle affluent class. It is also the gateway to 650 million of population in Southeast Asia, the world's 3 largest market. So Indonesia is the world's largest archipelago nation blessed by abundant natural resources and also the tourism destinations. It is the largest nickel ore producer, also a major producer of cobalt, copper, aluminum, and gold. The country is also a global source of palm oil, rubber, cocoa, and also coffee. And international tourist arrivals doubled in 7 years between 2012 and 2019, about 16.1 million. And tourism GDP is estimated to grow 6% from 2018 to 2028. It's about 35.1 billion US dollar. Besides foreign visitors, Indonesia also recorded 265 million of domestic tourist movements in 2019. Currently, the country is developing priority tourism destinations as the new Bali's, as the name, throughout the archipelago. But besides tourism, Indonesia also focused on 5 key manufacturing sectors in making Indonesia 4.0. These are including food and beverage, to become Southeast Asia food and beverage powerhouse, textile and apparel sectors, automotive to establish export leadership in ICE and electronic vehicle, chemicals, electronics, and also the last one is electronics. And Indonesia strategically become a production base for export with millions of skilled labor and free trade agreements with more than 22 countries, including the world's largest markets. Indonesia is also included in the U.S. General System Preference, or we call it GSP, that benefits companies to have a lower import tariff to enter a U.S. market, covering more than 3,500 products. Indonesia government is committed to boost foreign direct investment by creating more open investment climate, improving the licensing process, and offering more incentives. Indonesia has just revoked negative investment list, our previous regulations, and open more business for 100% foreign ownership. So we call it priority list of business recently. We also simplified the regulations by revising more than 77 laws through a single law called Omnibus Law to improve investment climate and legal certainty in 11 clusters, which is already mentioned by our Director General Pak Ngurah about Omnibus Law. And our Ministry of Investment, because as for your information, we recently changed the level from Indonesia. Our chairman become a minister. They just inaugurated with our president. And Ministry of Investment is mandated to provide business license and investment facilities from other ministries and institutions. We also launched online single submissions. Yeah, we call it OSS. Actually, we want to launch the updates, the newest system, the OSS versions, next month on 2nd of July. This is our business license in Indonesia under single platform. We call it OSS. Indonesia government also lowered corporate income tax to 22% and to 20% next year. This makes Indonesia more competitive in the regions. And now we talk about investment of incentives. We have several incentives. On top of flour tax, Indonesia provides a set of incentives, including first tax holiday. Yeah, this is a tax exemption up to 20 years or 25 years if the industry or the factory inside in special economic zones for the investors. And there are 18 eligible sectors for these tax holiday schemes. You can see all the sectors. And second is tax allowance. It is 30% of reduction corporate income tax. Income tax from capital investment for 6 years, or 5% per year, and then we offer to 183 business fields. And third, this is the new one, super tax deductions. They include deductions of gross income subject to corporate income tax up to 300% of the cost of R&D activities, or up to 200% of the cost of educational activities. Also, 60% reduction of CIT from capital investment for labor-intensive industries. And we have exemption of import duty and on imported machines, goods, and material for productions apply for 2 years. VAT exemption is applicable in free trade zones and also bonded zones. Fifth, special economic zone incentives. One on top of those incentives, investor is special economic zones are eligible for 100% foreign ownership, ease of permit, and additional tax incentives. Last but not least, end-to-end services and tailored facilities. As the frontliner in improving ease of doing business, with the authorization from other ministries or institutions, our ministry is committed, to provide end-to-end services, including tailor-made facilities for each investor, especially during this challenging time. So this is the different situations, and we have to use this momentum. Now we can adjust the regulations to make it easy for the investors. And for the summary, Indonesia is the country with thousand opportunity, including one of the largest market in Asia and rich of natural resources. The government currently focus on building ecosystem of tourism, manufacturing, automotive, textile, apparel, chemical, and food and beverage. And all the participants, please do not hesitate us and to contact us in New York for consultations, data, and information. Also, contacts of related stakeholders in Indonesia. Let's proper and grow together. Thank you, Ms. Ambassador. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Iqbal from New York. And as I noted at the beginning that we haven't had any investment yet from our 5 countries under the jurisdiction of Indonesian Embassy. And also we don't have an outbound investment. So there is a room to promote together and work harder to invite probably investors from Bahamas or investors from Dominican Republic to invest in Indonesia, and at the same time also encourage Indonesian investment or in the Indonesian investors to invest in those 5 countries to help also grow together. Thank you for your presentation. The following, I would like to invite Honorary Consul of Indonesia in Haiti, Ms. Kathleen Zurasik. I hope Kathleen is already here with us. Zuraik, Kathleen has been an Honorary Consul of Indonesia in 2017, and she is very helpful in helping me when I visited Haiti. And then, of course, it's really a pleasure to meet you again. Kathleen, can you join us? Okay, good. I can see your face now. Right. So the floor is yours, Kathleen. You can share about Haiti to our audience. We have 100 audience at the moment. And also we do have a YouTube of Indonesian Embassy in Havana for those who cannot join through our Zoom. The floor is yours, Kathleen, please.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Hi.
Yes, go ahead, Kathleen. Yes, I can hear you.
Bonjour. Greetings from Haiti. My name is Kathleen Cassis Zurek, and I have the honor to represent the Republic of Indonesia as the Honorary Consul in Haiti. Haiti is located in the Caribbean Sea and shares the island of Hispaniola with the Dominican Republic to its east. Its capital is Port-au-Prince. We have a population of 11,026,000 for 27,400 kilometers. Haiti is the first Black republic to get its independence from France in 1804 after defeating Napoleon's army. Once the most popular tourist attraction, Haiti is home to miles of breathtaking beaches and crystal blue waters. Its natural resources are bauxite, copper, calcium carbonate, gold, and marble. Its cash crops include coffee, mangoes, cocoa, vetiver, but bitter orange peel. But unfortunately, Haiti is the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere due to a long history of political oppression, soil erosion, illiteracy, lack of infrastructure, inadequate roads, inadequate waste storage, very poor medical services and school. The GDP per capita is $1,149 US. Today, as I am talking to you, the political situation is in turmoil. Armed gangs, 160 of them, are keeping a good part of the capital in hostage, creating a shortage of gas at the pump because the delivery trucks cannot pass through. What are our main exports? The major items exported by Haiti include apparel, cocoa, coffee, mangoes, and essential oil. In 2018, Haiti was facing fiscal imbalance due to political turmoil and social discontent. The poverty rate is almost 60%, and 2/3 of the population live in rural areas. 20% of the population holds 64% of Haiti income. But Haiti is very vulnerable to hurricanes, flood, and earthquake. The 2010 earthquake that killed 200,000 Haitians, 1.5 million were left homeless, and 90% of Port-au-Prince was destroyed. The downtown area is still not rebuilt. $15 billion were promised to Haiti, only 10% was given. Haiti has received from US Congress the HOPE law that all material clothing manufactured in Haiti can enter the United States free of tax. The raw material can be imported duty-free, manufactured in Haiti, then sent to the US. It takes only 3 days by boat and 2 hours by plane to reach Miami. We have 60,000 workers in that section because of Haiti's cheap labor and the exemption of tax. As you can see, we have many associations like ADI, Association of Haitian Industry, Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, la Chambre de Commerce et des Industries d'Haïti, the French Haitian Chamber of Commerce. They are set to help foreign investors. Haiti has few factories. Tompac, who manufacture tomato paste, ketchup, and tropical juices, is projecting to plant 1,500 hectares of tomato plants, and it will give jobs and revenues to 2,000 landowners and 60,000 jobs to tomato pickers. The big Heineken company bought our brewery, and now our prestige beer is all over the world. Haiti is open for business in the Haitian government slogan. The land is not plenty. Rice, beans, corn, plantain, fruits come from the Dominican Republic. Our rice also comes from the US by boatloads, also from the Far East. In 2015, the Dominican Republic sold to Haiti $1.4 billion, but Haitian Customs received only $204 million, which gives you a ratio 7-to-1. From Indonesia, we receive palm cooking oil, detergent, beauty soap, spice, mosquito coil, laundry soap, glassware, and margarine. As you can see, Haiti is in need of every manufactured product. I'm also in constant contact with all the major importers in Haiti. If there is any product that will fit our Haiti market, I am more than willing to share them. The second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic has hit Haiti very hard due to the return of the Haitians from Brazil. We don't have enough oxygen tanks and all the hospitals are full and cannot accept new patients. No vaccination program has been set yet. And I want to take that opportunity to thank Ambassador Nana for her invitation and cooperation. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathleen. It's very nice to meet you here. And I hope you are still in the Zoom if there are some questions later. But you already mentioned that Haiti imported from Indonesia, such as cooking oil and then detergent, spices. So for those who are also having producing spices, there's also an open opportunity there. Laundry soap, margarine, and I guess also Haiti needs medical supplies and also construction materials, because this country is always have a natural resource, natural disaster like earthquake, and also the building of the housing is also needed. But unfortunately, during this time, Haiti faced unstable political condition. Hopefully, Kathleen, by this year, it will be settled down. So next year, it will be open. I already went to Haiti, ladies and gentlemen, and I met some of the importers there. They really need some cooking oil, some detergent, some spices. So we will connect with the Indonesian business people, Indonesian exporters later on with you, Kathleen. Thank you for sharing for the opportunity in Haiti. Now I'm going to invite Dr. Michael Bambury. Michael Bambury is the Honorary Consul of the Republic of Indonesia in Jamaica. And Michael Bambury has been our Honorary Consul since 2013. So the floor is yours, Dr. Bambury, please.
Thank you for inviting me, Ambassador Nana, to speak at this in this forum. All protocols are observed. I represent Indonesia in Jamaica. Jamaica is the largest English-speaking country within the Caribbean, 144,000 square miles. We are 90 miles south of Cuba. We are governed by a democratic process with elections every 5 years. We are exposed, just like Haiti, to hurricanes and earthquakes. So we are very vulnerable in the Northern Caribbean as well. I listened very keenly to all the presentations, in particular Ambassador Director General. Sorry for not calling your name, I can't pronounce the names very well. When he suggested that there's going to be a digital platform for trade and collaboration between Indonesia and other countries. I think this is needed because one of the problems is that certainly in Jamaica, we're not aware of the industries and the contact information of those industries and what they produce for export. We're not sure about that. When I say we, I mean, Jamaica has been hit by COVID-19, just like any other country. Our first case was in March 2020. And from April 2020 to September 2020, the economy declined by 14.6%. This was the largest decline in our economy since our independence in 1962. The hardest hit industries were tourism and entertainment industries. We are very highly dependent on the tourism dollar. Our economy suffered greatly as a result of that. Despite this and the efforts of the government, significant inroads have been made in terms of restricting the COVID-19 and the spread of COVID-19 infection. And there's going to be a gradual opening up of the economy, particularly in tourism and entertainment. We are projected to grow an average of 4.1% over the fiscal years 2021-2022 to 2024-2025. This growth is precedent on an anticipated decrease in the economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic as global vaccination efforts are executed. We have a vaccination program in Jamaica, but we have not been very successful in vaccinating a tremendous amount of people, as there is a resistance to vaccination. The people of Jamaica are not very eager to take up the vaccines. The outlook is positive, with a growth of 5.2% projected for this year, as the demand for goods and services increase over levels in 2020-2021, sorry. The expansion in growth will be driven largely by hotels and restaurants, transport and transportation, and also storage and communication. Also, the construction industry has been growing significantly despite COVID, and that growth continues. Real estate is really, there's a tremendous demand for real estate in Jamaica at this time, mostly residential real estate. I think investors have decided, to put their resources into real estate as well, as opposed to other forms of investment. So that's in the short term. That growth is in the short term. In the medium term, the growth is anticipated in agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining, and quarrying. Inflation is expected to stabilize at around 5% over the medium term. The current account deficit is projected to increase to 3.6% of GDP over the period. This is based on the expected deterioration in Jamaican trade balance as imports increase at a faster rate than exports. Our GDP in 2020 was $14.23 billion. Based on the last Joint Commission meeting that was held between Indonesia and Jamaica in Kingston, a collaboration between Jamaica and Indonesia on security matters such as terrorism, cyber terrorism as well, drug and human trafficking, as well as tourism and sports was proposed. I'm not sure as to the what has happened as it relates to that, those decisions at the Joint Commission. I don't know what the success has been as it relates to that. Currently, we have a trade deficit in favor of Indonesia, and the second presenter showed that certainly in 2020 there was zero imports from Jamaica to Indonesia, and there has been a steady growth in exports from Indonesia to Jamaica, except in 2020, and that was because of COVID, I would imagine. There are opportunities for trade and bilateral cooperation in pharmaceuticals, soaps and oils, textiles and clothing. Currently, we import, our largest imports are in oils and soaps from Indonesia, as well as in furniture. But there is a tremendous opportunity for textiles, I think, and fashion clothing. Also, tires and for motor vehicles is also an opportunity for that. I'm not sure if Indonesia has such a industry. Paper and paper products as well as medical equipment. As far as exports from Jamaica, I think there's an opportunity for alcohol, even though the large percentage of the population of Indonesia is Muslim. I think there is still an opportunity for alcohol imports as well as spices. So, be that as it may, that is basically in a nutshell about the Jamaican economy at present. Also, the opportunities that exist for collaboration between our two countries. I'm anticipating that digital platform, and until then, I think it will be very useful if the industries and their contact information who are willing to export are provided to the honorary consul, to me, and the honorary consuls of the other territories. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Michael Bamburi, for your information. Dr. Michael Bamburi is a doctor. Hello. Hello. Can other people please close? Vladimir, can you close first? Can you close, please? Because I cannot. Yes.
Hello.
All the participants, please mute it. Please mute it until I ask. I invite you because it's disturbing our discussion. So, well, again, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to emphasize the opportunity or the demand from Jamaica, as it is mentioned by Dr. Banburi. The first one is textile or fashion, and then oil and soap, furniture, pharmaceutical, and also medical equipment. So those who are participants from Indonesia, if you have those kind of business, it's really open the opportunity to export to Jamaica. Now, I'm pleased to invite the last speaker before we go to question and answer. For that, I would like to invite Vladimir Likaira. He is our future or our candidate of honorary consul of Indonesia for the Dominican Republic. So I know you are busy at the moment in the car, but I really feel blessed that you can join this meeting and share a little bit what the opportunity you have in your country, especially for Indonesia. Vladimir is a businessman, and he already exported, he already imported from Indonesia furniture with the relation with Ibu Fifi Manan. So the floor is yours, Vladimir. Your voice is still muted. Okay, yes, please.
Okay. Morning
Okay,
for all,
good.
and thank you for inviting me, Miss Ambassador Nana Juliana. Say hello to everybody. We are from the Dominican Republic. Our population in this country is 12 million people, and our land is 48,000 square kilometers. We have relation with Indonesia from 30 years ago. We are importing office furniture and some other furniture from Indonesia. At the moment, the process of the vaccination here, we have 4 million already take the first doses, and 2 million people take the second doses. The government have a program that is free, and we are working on make a solution to may take everybody the vaccine. Our republic is a democratic government, and we have very stable political situation in DR. The possible business actually in DR are for furniture, for hotels, craft, and food. Our main business in the DR are hotels and tourism. Okay. Thank you for everything. It's a very short participation.
Thank you very much, Vladimir, for sharing about the demand in your country. I would like to underline again what the Dominican Republic needs is furniture, craft, and also food. And as you know that Bahamas, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, and Cuba really rely on the tourism sectors. So the supplies for tourism purposes like craft, fashion, and also food and furniture for hotels and also resorts are open for Indonesian products to send to these 4 or 5 countries in my accreditation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we go now for a question and answer session. I would like to open the session for the Indonesian participants or for the honorary consul. If you can raise your hand to ask a question to deepen your understanding about the opportunities in those 5 countries. At the moment, for your information, the Embassy of Indonesia in Havana facilitating the business of Cuban. There are 2 business people that we already contacted, and they are doing the process of importing the food from Indonesia and also fashion. I think we have also Ibu Viralea, who already have a connection and also communication with the business people in Cuba. But at the moment, for your information, Cuba has a problem if the transaction is in US dollar. This is just imposed, will start on the 21st of June. So probably the transaction will be used beyond US dollar. You can use euro or yen or other currency because Cuba is facing an embargo from United States. So the use of US dollar is still in a pending situation, waiting until they resolve the problem of transaction using US dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your hand for those who wants to ask question. May I see from the chat, Molana, can you help me with the chat if there is any question? Okay, from Bapak Andi Kilang, what are the best strategies to start our export and tourism business sectors to Havana, Jamaica, and Dominican Republic? Can I invite Michael Bamburi because there's a question about Jamaica and also there's a question about Dominican Republic about the best strategies to start our export. Dr. Bamburi, please.
Could you repeat the question again?
There is a question that what is the best strategies to export and also do the tourism business sectors to Jamaica and also Havana and Dominican Republic? I would like to invite your comment first, and I will answer for Havana, and then also I'll invite Vladimir to respond. Yes, Dr. Michael.
The strategy, the products that I see that would be useful for the tourism sector in Jamaica would be soaps and lotions, and that can be used in the hotel industry in small packages, possibly to do private labels as well for those hotels. Also for furniture for the hotels as well, furnishings for the hotels. In terms of the strategy of getting into the system would be to contact the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association in Jamaica through the JAMPRO, Jamaican, that's our, JAMPRO is our investment promotion arm of the government. It's a statutory body. So via JAMPRO, they could contact JAMPRO and indicate that they have an interest in providing products for the tourist industry and what products that they would provide. And I'm suggesting that they do soaps and lotions for the tourist industry with a potential for private labeling. That would be the strategy for Jamaica.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bamburi.
But
so I'm going to emphasize again.
I want to ask though that is there an opportunity for private labeling of soaps in Indonesia for export?
Thank you. So soap, lotion, furniture are needed in Jamaica, and also we'll try to contact Jamaica Tourism Association for Andy. I'll try to find out later, and then we'll give you the link. Now I'm going to invite.
Sorry, Ambassador. I will give the link to Risky for JAMPRO, Jamaica Promotion.
Okay.
I will give that link to Risky.
Okay, for JAMPRO.
The address and phone number.
Thank you so much. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Dr. Bamburi. We'll wait for the link from you and also the contact number. For Havana, while we are still waiting when Cuba will open, until now, Cuba is still closed for the foreigners, but they start to open sometime in September or October, especially during the winter time in Canada and also in United States. It is very cold in Canada and also Russia. So the most tourists coming from those countries, they visit Cuba a lot. And the big tourist numbers is actually from Russia, from Canada, and also from United States. So again, tourism is a very a good opportunity in Cuba, but we have to wait until the people are being vaccinated. What does it mean? So craft and also fashion and also food are open for Cuba to be exported from Indonesia. But the thing is, the challenge with Cuba, because so far Cuba is having an embargo from United States, so we have to contact the third country for shipping and also for the transaction. At the moment, Cuban government cannot allow using the US dollars to be deposited, but then they allow to use a euro and also yen for the transaction. Now, let me invite Vladimir. Can you share about the tourism strategies, Vladimir, for your country in Dominican Republic, please?
One moment. Okay. What is the question again, please?
The question is, what is the best strategies for tourism sectors in your country? Who should we contact, and then can we send the Dominican Republic coming to Indonesia and vice versa from Indonesia to your country?
Yeah, we handle that by tourist minister that we have. We can contact them and send the information. I don't know if my answer is clear enough.
Yes, okay, thank you. I'll wait for your contact number and the link. So we can link between the tourism travel agent from your country and also travel agent with Indonesia. So we can also exchange a kind of a tourist, especially after COVID, probably next year. Then we can start doing the tourism sectors between Indonesia and also Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vladimir. What
Okay.
about the opportunity of what else then? I'll try to get from the chat. The hair vitamin in Asia. Okay. We will give you the contact number and also the email of the embassy later. So for those business people in Indonesia, we will try to connect with the business people in those our accredited country. Anybody wants to raise the hand? I saw Ambassador Joni Sinaga. Can I have the floor from you, Ambassador?
Thank you, Ambassador. First of all, can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay.
Very clear.
Thank you. First of all, allow me to express my congratulations to you, Ambassador, for holding this webinar, and also to Ambassador Ngurah Swajaya. I think this is a very important occasion, and I think you cover many countries like Jamaica. I think we shall not underestimate the potential of those countries, and I see that you are so eager to use all of them for our cooperation. For example, when we visited Jamaica some time ago, they asked me, do you use the peel of banana in your country? And we said, no, we don't use it yet. We just throw it in the garbage. And then they said that it's so sad. In Jamaica, we can produce economical products out of the skin of banana. And they said that you have a lot of bananas in Indonesia. So I think we can cooperate in many things, including like how to use of the skin of banana, because we have a lot of banana in Indonesia. So I think with other countries like Bahamas also, when we visited Bahamas a long time ago with Ambassador Ngurah Swajaya, we can see the beauty of Bahamas. But in terms of income, I think, especially accommodation in Bahamas compared to what we gain from the accommodation in Bali, for example. In Bahamas, they know how to attract the people to spend their money in Bahamas, and we can learn from it. And the other one, I think, like now we want to increase our export, Ambassador. If it is possible, we can have the direct interaction or contact between the business people in Indonesia with the business people in Cuba, in Jamaica, in Bahamas, and other countries. It would be a very wonderful idea. So probably there was my question to everyone here. Is it possible to choose business people and we can communicate in the different languages? I think there is always someone who can help us in this regard, especially during this pandemic situation when traveling is a bit difficult. But as Ambassador Ngurah Swajaya mentioned that last year, our export is increased. So we saw it is not only for Indonesia really, but all of the countries all over the world. We should creatively do something in spite of this pandemic, how to increase our economic activities, including in our exports. That's my question, Ambassador. And once again, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I congratulate you for this wonderful idea. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Joni. Actually, if I have to say it again, Elmer, our honorary consul, is a businessman.
Wow.
What is your business, Elmer? Can you say? Four
Sure.
of our honorary consul are business people. So, Elmer, what
Oh,
is your
great.
business? Can you share? Yes.
Sure. So one of our businesses is in the real estate and facility management, where we focus on commercial activities, so large A-class building complexes. The other is in brokerage, so deal making, and that covers many industries. Basically, we put buyers and sellers together. That's the core aspects of our business. We have other business in the US, which is on the entertainment based, but that probably is not as more connected to our current topic.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Elmer. So Elmer is a businessman, Dubes, and we all are very happy that all the four of our honorary consul are businessmen, and is really glad that they can also connect with other business or chamber of commerce in their respective countries. And also Vladimir is also a businessman. Vladimir, can you say what is your business in Red Dome in Republic of Dominican? Is Vladimir still here? Okay, we're still waiting for Vladimir. And Kathleen also is a businesswoman. Kathleen, would you explain what is your business, Kathleen? Hi, Kathleen, please unmute yourself, please. Pak Maulana, can you help to unmute Kathleen, please? Sorry.
Hi.
Okay,
we have
Kathleen,
a department store that we run, my husband and I. My son is in the wholesale business for plastics and oil and things like that. And then we also have a car business in Haiti where we represent a Porsche and Jeep. And we also have the family business that is in the food business, and all the things that I told you that we import, they import from Indonesia. But we have a lot of people that are asking us for the furniture, but I don't have any information how to go about receiving or buying furniture, giving them, let's say, names of companies. I would appreciate if you could do that for me. Put me in contact with them. We also need furniture for the store too. So I think it'll be a good idea because like I told you in my report, we don't manufacture nothing. So everything is welcome in Haiti.
Thank you. We will
Thank you,
send you the
Thank
information.
So you see all our business people, Pak Joni, don't worry. We can connect you with those people then. Now,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bamburi,
Ambassador. Thank
Dr.
you.
Bamburi. Dr. Bamburi, you are also doing some business service as a doctor. That's why, yes, probably you can explain about yourself. What you're doing, Dr. Bamburi, please.
Okay. I still practice. I'm a practicing physician. I also I run a small hospital in Kingston, Jamaica. But also I'm also in the investment business. I have a investment and holding company that is with a core focus on real estate and private equity. And we have business in many Caribbean islands, certainly Barbados, the United States, as well as the Caribbean islands, Costa Rica. We're about to go into the Bahamas, etc. So basically, I'm in the finance business as well, and finance and investment. So I'm a doctor.
Thank you. So he is an investor. He is also in the medical supplies, and also he is a practice of doctor, and also in a financial business. Vladimir, are you still there, Vladimir? What is your business, please? Can you inform the participants? Or probably he's already out. But as far as I know,
Bu Dubes,
Bu Fifi, yes, Bu Fifi.
Mrs. Ambassador,
Yes.
yeah, I apologize. I think Mr. Vladimir is in a meeting, in a tender meeting. He's in Punta Cana right now. Actually, I asked him to sign back in so he can show his project. He's right now doing a project in Punta Cana. So he apologized. They apologized
Yes,
that he had to sign out.
Okay. Can you also share, Ibu Fifi, what you're doing in exporting Indonesian product to the Dominican Republic on behalf of Vladimir, probably, Ibu?
Yes, so we have been exporting our furniture, office furniture exactly, to Dominican Republic. So Mr. Vladimir, his company's name is Mebles Omar, and he is actually I should say the largest office furniture provider in Dominican Republic. And we have done business with him for for almost 30 years. And the relationship is great, that it's not only like a customer or client, but we are really friends. We take him as a family. He also visits us in Indonesia. He has been to Indonesia many times. And he has many showrooms in Dominican Republic, in Santo Domingo. I have been there many times. So he also he used to have like manufacturing in the early days, but not anymore. So he totally imports from us. He has a big warehouse. It used to be his factory, so it turned to be a big warehouse. You'll be amazed how big the warehouse is, and so many rackings. I mean, I could even get lost in his big show in his warehouse. So yeah, so we are very fortunate because we export like so many containers per month to him. And he has two kinds. He has distribution and also doing projects. That's what he's doing now in Punta Cana. He's visiting the project in Punta Cana. So we will keep continuing business with him, and he will be coming to Jakarta hopefully in this October.
Great.
Yeah, I think that's...
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ibu Fifi Manan. So you see, Ambassador Joni, 4 of them are business people, and very fortunate to have an honorary consul business people. Of course, Indonesian Embassy in Havana will be very glad to facilitate the contact later. But you see, that's what we are doing, and it's just a matter of connecting and connectivity between those 4 countries, 5 countries, including Cuba with Indonesia. For your information, all the Caribbean countries, total size of market is around 47 million people, almost 50 million people. So that are the market that we have to penetrate from Indonesia side. So we cannot only rely on the population, because like Bahamas and also Dominican Republic and Jamaica and Haiti and also Cuba, they are tourist countries revenue. So our target is also for the tourists coming to their country. In 2019, Bahamas itself, the tourist numbers is more than 7 million people. With the population of Bahamas is only 400,000 people, but the tourists coming to their country is 5 million people. So imagine, and in Cuba also, with only 11 million people, the tourists coming every year is around 7 to 8 million people. So we cannot only rely on the market of the population, but we have to rely also on the market of the tourists coming to their country. So this is what I say. Now, the last question I'm going to give to Berliana Purba. We will stop until 10:30 in Havana time, so 9:30 in Jakarta time. Please, Ibu Berliana, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity, Your Excellency. I'm interesting about what Miss Ketetown talking. Yeah, it is what he say is about essential oil. In our corporations, we produce essential oil, especially patchouli oil. Yeah, I hope that Ibu Miss Ketetown, will have an contact with us so that we will have a best price each other. And besides, we have also ginger, and this time is the price getting down. So if the opportunity we have in Havana, I think this is will make our farmer get better this time especially. So actually many product.
This is our state,
Yeah, many product we produce in these corporations, but I think patchouli oil is special from our area. This is Pakat and also Sidikalang. This is a famous place, the original of patchouli oil, the best in the world. So please contact us. Sorry, please contact us to get the best price and quality. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibu Berliana, for your information. And Ibu Kathleen, Kathleen, can you say something regarding the oil that is she is producing, probably? Ibu Kathleen, please. I believe not only in Haiti, but other countries also, of course, they need also aromatic oil then.
Yes, I heard
Kathleen,
her and I took notes. So I'm going to contact some people that I know that works with the essential oils. And then I'll have you send me the contact so I can give it to them. So maybe they can start doing business. That's very nice.
Okay.
Very,
Thank you
very
very
nice.
much,
So I'm waiting for
Kathleen.
her contact and I would give it to them.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kathleen. Ladies and gentlemen, I put in the chat our contact number. So please contact us also through our email, havana.kbri@kemlu.go.id. Embassy of Indonesia in Havana is very pleased to communicate and facilitate the numbers, and then also the contact with the business people in our region. For your information, ladies and gentlemen, Haiti is actually the most, the highest volume of trading between Indonesia and Haiti. Even though at the moment the condition of politics is facing a quite challenging time. But based on our note, our trade volume is 176.34 million US dollar. And then the second trade volume is Indonesia with Dominican Republic. The third one is Bahamas, and then Jamaica, and Cuba is the smallest one, 6.6 million US dollar. I think it's because of the embargo, but actually the demand is very high also in Cuba. Now, I would like to open one more person to ask question. Let's have a look from the chat. If anyone wants to ask, we already No one? Okay, so for the closing, I would like to invite the last time, Pak Putra, please, can you say something for the Honorary Consul of Bahamas, Mr. Elmer would like to say something. Yes, Elmer, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. One thing that I would be remiss in not mentioning is that food security has become a major concern in the Bahamas during the COVID period. For instance, some of our islands, such as Long Island, Eleuthera, for instance, was the pineapple capital of the world. Mexico then eventually figured out how to make it more efficient, and they took that crown. But food security is a major concern. So there may be opportunities for partnerships in both supplying to the North American markets, for instance, coconuts. If it takes 6 to 8 weeks to transport, let's say, from Indonesia to these waters, maybe there are opportunities where the coconuts can be grown in the Bahamas, but the partnership, because the business is already established in Indonesia, for instance, there can be a partnership to supply to regions where they can get the product sooner, and both parties benefit. So I just want to say, I'm sure that those opportunities probably exist with my counterparts in Dominican Republic and Jamaica and Havana as well. So I think we should open up our minds to the opportunities and not look at it as one direction only. Maybe there are joint partnerships that are possible.
Thank you, Elmer, for sharing your idea and your thought about joint partner for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's already 10:30 in my time and also 9:30 in Indonesian time. For the closing, I would like to invite Dr. Putra for the closing remarks. The floor is yours, Dr. Putra, please.
Thank you, Ambassador Nana. I think it has been very fruitful and important discussion today, and I believe that this webinar is not end today, but it will continue, since we learned from today's discussion that there has been a lot of opportunities in Indonesian market and in Caribbean market, and we have the corporate industry, SME, from various area in Indonesia to be connected to the markets in Caribbean. So I think it's really a big opportunity. And then we also hope that the economic situation in Caribbean, especially in Cuba, can be improved with the new reform by the government, and hopefully with the lifting of the US sanction, we pray all together, and it will definitely help the economy of Cuba and Caribbean countries. And I think that the most important thing is we have to always be optimistic, as Ibu Ambassador Nana, who always be very, very supportive and very optimistic. And I'm really happy for that. And I believe that with the strong leader by Ambassador Nana, all the people in her original will be very happy and best supported. And finally, if you have any question related to the Indonesian economy, US economy or Caribbean economy, and related to the payment transfer banking system, you can contact us at the Bank Indonesia in New York. I have the email on my slide presentation, and would be happy to help you and to also to connect you with your needs. Thank you, Ambassador Nana. It's been very great meeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much, Pak Putra. Last but not least, we have our Director of Indonesian Trade Promotion Center in Santiago, Chile, Ms. Rani Resnia. Can I invite you 1 or 2 words, please, for the closing? Ibu
Thank you.
Rani, please. Yes.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ms. Ambassador Ibu Nana, for the time, for the opportunity. Yeah, so even though Chile is in South America, and I believe that the opportunity to increase the trade between the Bahamas country, Haiti, Cuba, and the surroundings are increased because of this open communication between the countries that initiated by and developed by the Embassy of Indonesia in Havana, Cuba. So we are in the Indonesian Trade Promotion Center in Santiago, Chile, will be very happy to assist any questions, to assist any inquiries from Indonesian exporters, and also our colleagues in the Embassy of Havana, Cuba, to increase and enhance the trade between Indonesia and the countries in the American continent. Thank you, Ibu Nana, Miss Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Ibu Rani. So for your information, all participants, in Havana, we don't have the representative from Ministry of Trade, but we have a representative of Ministry of Trade of Indonesia in Chile and also in Mexico that can also help us to boost the trade volume between Indonesia and all the Latin American countries. So finally, thank you very much for all the participants who joined our webinar this morning. Thank you, Ambassador, our DG of American and European Affairs, Bapak Putra, Pak Iqbal, and also thanks to Elmer, Kathleen, Michael Bamburi, and Vladimir for participating and sharing with us with all the opportunities you open. And also with the group Peningkatan Ekspor and Lembaga Ekspor, Pak Dubes Joni, thank you for the support, Pak, and also Ibu Dubes Emiria. Please stay tuned for our next webinar meeting on the special sectors. And of course, we will be supporting the INALAC, Indonesian and Latin American and Caribbean countries in October. Also the trade Indonesian export in also October. So thank you again and have a great evening and a great day in Latin American countries and also in New York. So thank you, and I have to apologize for those who asked questions, but I cannot respond. But we've been already 2.5 hours to be together. So bye-bye, everyone. Thanks a lot. Stay
Thank
healthy.
you.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Bye-bye.
Ambassador.
great
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Live ya.
Bye.
Keep safe. Bye-bye.
Dubes.
Bye-bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Kathleen, for joining. Elmer
Bye.
Ya,
Thank you.
and also Pak Wawan, terima kasih banyak.
kita tunggu
From
di Jakarta.
Jakarta.
Terima
Yeah.
kasih.
Thank
And then
you.
also,
Terima kasih.
thank you all.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam. Michael, thank you so much. And Ibu Fifi Manan. So permit me to leave this Zoom. I'll see you again then. Bye.